Slept badly, drank coffee, killed my tenant Volodya, cut him into pieces in the bathroom with a knife, put the pieces of his body in plastic bags and then threw them away. That is a real entry from a real diary. It was written by a 68-year-old retired translator in St Petersburg, a woman who spoke 3 languages, who spent 16 years working with foreign tourists, who her neighbors described as polite. And she wrote it the same way she wrote about the weather. Tamara Samsonova was born on the 25th of April, 1947, in Uzhur, a small town in Krasnoyarsk Krai, deep in Siberia. She was clever. She studied at the Maurice Thoré Institute of Foreign Languages in Moscow, and she came out of it fluent enough to work as a translator. For 16 years she worked for Intourist, the Soviet state travel agency, including at the Grand Hotel Europe, one of the finest hotels in Leningrad. This was a prestigious job. In the Soviet Union, the people who dealt with foreigners were trusted people. In 1971, she married Alexei Samsonov. They moved into a panel apartment block on Dimitrov Street in the Frunzensky district. And that is where she stayed for the next 44 years. In the year 2000, her husband Alexei disappeared. She did not report it. Not that year, not the year after. Tamara Samsonova reported her husband missing in April 2015, 15 years after he vanished. By then, other people had disappeared too. In September 2003, a 32-year-old man named Sergei Potanin, originally from Norilsk, was killed during a quarrel in her apartment. His body was dismembered. His remains were found. His killer was not for another 12 years, because from the outside, nothing about Tamara Samsonova looked wrong. She was an elderly woman in a quiet building who rented out rooms to lodgers who sometimes moved away without saying goodbye. In the summer of 2015, Samsonova was living with a 79-year-old woman named Valentina Ulanova. The two had known each other for years. Ulanova had taken her in. According to Samsonova's own account, there had been an argument, something small. Ulanova had told her off for not cleaning up. On the night of the 23rd of July 2015, Samsonova made a salad. Olivier, the standard Russian holiday dish, the one every family makes. Into it, she emptied an entire packet of phenazepam, a sedative, 50 pills. Her own words later, "I came home and put the whole pack of phenazepam at 50 pills into her Olivier salad. Valentina Ulanova ate it. And then Samsonova dismembered her." What she did not account for was the camera. Security footage from the building showed an elderly woman dragging a large black bag out of the apartment and away from the building. On the 26th of July, Valentina Ulanova's remains were found near a pond beside house number 10 on Dimitrov Street. They had been wrapped in a bathroom curtain. The next day, police came to Samsonova's apartment. They found traces of blood, and they found a curtain with its fastening missing. They also found the diary. It was not a confession. That is the part that unsettles people. Investigators described a journal detailing as many as 10 killings across 20 years, written in Russian, in English, and in German. She switched languages the way other people switch pens, and the murders were not separated from the rest of her life. They sat in the middle of it. An entry about sleeping badly, an entry about coffee, an entry about a body in the bathroom, then back to the weather. Police said they were investigating her in connection with as many as 11, by some reports 14 deaths. 2 killings are firmly established, Sergei Potanin and Valentina Ulanova. The rest exist mainly in her own handwriting. And her own handwriting is not a reliable narrator. That is worth saying plainly, because a lot of what has been written about this case is not. On the 29th of July 2015, Tamara Samsonova was brought before the Frunzensky District Court in St Petersburg. She was 68 years old. She was filmed inside the glass defendant's cage, and she blew kisses at the television cameras. She confessed. Then she said her neighbors had done it. Then she said this: "I have been preparing for this trial for 10 years. In November 2015, a forensic psychiatric examination found her to be a danger. In December, she was transferred to compulsory psychiatric treatment in Kazan. She was never tried in the ordinary sense. There was no verdict, no sentence, no account given. The diary is the closest thing to an explanation that exists. And it explains nothing. It only records. A woman wrote down what she did for 20 years in 3 languages in her own hand, and nobody read it until it was too late.